over a huge sum of money for a car that you have to feel that, okay, one, this is not going to cost me a fortune to maintain, but that you have to feel safe with that brand. So how much do you care about the country that your car comes from? 0800 80 1080. All right, bit to talk about. Let's get to it. Ben, how are you doing? That's right. Ben, you're on the wireless. Can you believe it? No, we can't. Where's Ben gone? It's so upsetting to have had Ben, but to not really have had him. So let's see whether Ben comes back to us. And in the meantime, let's do some text messages. Anthony says, with regards to overseas players, no way. All the good players here will chase bigger money overseas. Our competition will be totally ruined. Nobody will go to the games. And you may be right. I may be crazy. But do I carry on with Billy Joel lyrics, or do I just make the point? What I said before the news was that I totally understand that argument. And again, you may be right, I may be crazy, and it sure may be a lunatic you're looking for, but that may have been a stronger argument when people used to go to Super Rugby games and NPC games. Does that argument still work now that those competitions are struggling to get?
We're in Auckland. T's and C's apply. You know the saying, Adrian?
What's saying, John?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And if it is broke,
See, make this bed road. Whatever might have broke over the holidays.
we've got a newer, better one to replace it.
Washers and dryers.
Fridges and freezers,
TVs and home theatres.
toasters and kettles,
Small appliances.
and big appliances.
All at prices that won't leave you broke.
We deliver fast.
We're open through the break.
100% Makeless Ben Road.
News Talk ZB, Tim Roxburgh here. That's me, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's do a couple of text messages. Just wrapping up the chat about overseas players potentially playing for the All Blacks in the future. Anthony says, no way, as all the players will chase that bigger money overseas. Thanks for texting in on that one. My first concert was the Synchronicity concert in 1984 at Western Springs, and I was 15. For someone who saw the Police as their first gig, that's not bad. This person's very first concert was Fleetwood Mac in 1980 at Athletic Park, that infamous concert. I was 8 and had missed out on going to the Rod Stewart concert of the same year.
They look very plain. Like when they first came out, I was like, oh my god, I want one of those. They look so cool and spaceship-like and everything else. But then when you have all these electric cars coming from Volkswagen and all other manufacturers, you think, wow. And for me, I was like, no, I want a Tesla because of the range. But BYD has really stepped up their game and showing some kind of competitive range to Tesla. And I was like, oh yeah, I want an electric car that has a lot of range. But then it also came down to the fact that in our country we just don't have enough infrastructure to support that kind of range.
Now, just on a different note, did you also want to tell us, there's no neat segue, so I'm just moving to it quickly, what your very first concert was?
Yes, I do. That was why I really called up, and then I heard you talking about electric cars. So my first concert wasn't really a concert, but it was the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, how old were you?
I was 16. I'm 48 now. I was 16 and I saw Phantom of the Opera in England, and I was lucky enough for that because I fell in love with that. Bought the CD when the first CD player came out that I bought. The Phantom of the Opera and Michael.
Get on board with the Alternative Commentary Collective for coverage of T21. Black Caps v Pakistan this Friday from 7:10 p.m. Listen live and free anywhere in New Zealand on iHeartRadio. All thanks to Leader NZ, home of the topper. Visit goodhomeproducts.co.nz and watch the online video that's gone viral. It's about a new DIY product called Curtain Wizard. It's designed to make it easy for you to remove mold from your curtains, blinds and drapes. With Curtain Wizard, you don't take your curtains down. You simply spray and the mold will go away. Shop online now for Curtain Wizard, and for a limited time, get a 2-litre pack for just $59.99 plus delivery. Visit goodhomeproducts.co.nz.
Here's an impressive way to welcome the new year. Renovate with splendid new furniture at Danske Möbler Furniture's huge January sale. Up to 50% off, plus hot buys of price to clear. At Danske Möbler, furniture for living.
options. Black stainless steel fridge freezers just $3.99. Powerful cordless stick vacs just $2.85. Idea chest freezers only $255. Shop online now at Trade Depot. With minimum spends, you can get free home delivery anywhere in Auckland. T's and C's apply.
Back with the first ever rock album. When you can sing anything, pick any song, how do you start?
Well, you start by choosing songs you especially love. Then you think, well, am I going to be able to sing this song good and make the person that I'm stealing from proud? Those are the things I thought, well, if I'm going to do a rock album, I've got to do it well enough to where the rock world will think, wow, that's pretty good, instead of thinking, oh, another country singer singing a rock album.
The Waikato Breakfast, back Monday, Jan 22nd on News Talk ZB. News Talk ZB, Tim Roxburgh here. We'll get back into some calls in just a moment on 0800 80 1080. A couple of topics I'd love to get your thoughts on. I mentioned Scott Robertson, new All Blacks coach, all-round great guy, is open to the idea, and he has hinted at more conversations going on behind the scenes to change a policy which has existed for a very long time, which is that if you are no longer based in New Zealand, you don't get picked for the All Blacks. And the idea behind this is easy to understand, or rather the idea behind our current policy is that you wanted to keep the best players playing in New Zealand. And maybe that was back when people watched NBC and watched Super Rugby. But perhaps the change in it, and no offense, I know that there are people who still care about Super Rugby, but we know that live attendances are just massively down. And it's not just Super Rugby that is struggling. We've got so much entertainment to choose from, and not just in terms of sport, that anything that falls under the broad umbrella of sport, whether it's a broad umbrella of entertainment, whether it's sport or otherwise, is really going to fight for its share of the pie. But perhaps this is just a hangover from the days when you would get 20,000 people or more to a Super Rugby game, and where you would have people extremely excited, both in terms of TV audience numbers and going to games for NBC. That you've got to keep our best players here in New Zealand, and that's why we have this policy that if you aren't based in New Zealand, you can't play for the All Blacks. But is that really fit for purpose in the mid-2020s? So if Richie Mo'unga, for example, or anybody else who is still All Black worthy, so it's not someone who's just cashing up for a bit of a laugh in an easy overseas league, that if they're still All Black worthy, but wanting to have that overseas experience and make some money and teach their family French, for example, that they can still play for the All Blacks. I'm not totally against it. 0800 80 1080 on that one. But here's another one, just very quickly, as we do have to get to another break, which is, you know how traditionally we buy European cars, we buy Japanese cars. And then in more recent years that people have branched out into going, well, Kia make obviously very good cars, and Hyundai make good cars, and we trust South Korea as being one of the most developed nations on earth, and so yes, go for gold with their cars. But now we have a situation where China is making vehicles, and in fact BYD is now bigger than Tesla, and also Haval is a brand which I'm seeing more and more on the roads in New Zealand. That's also a Chinese brand. That do you really care where your car comes from? If given that we're not buying New Zealand cars because they don't exist, how much do you care where your car comes from? I'd be interested in hearing from you. There's also a story about a Chinese electrified ute has been seen in spy things. So this is BYD's upcoming ute, which has spy pictures of this new ute by BYD. But how much do you care where your car comes from? And are you comfortable driving a Chinese-made car? And welcome your thoughts, 0800 80 1080. 8 minutes to 6. Back soon. News Talk ZB.
Now you don't buy a bed every day to get a good night's sleep. Don't give your money away.
Looking for a new bed in the new year? You'll sleep sweetly on a Sealy bed with the summer sale at Bedpost. This is your best chance to enjoy luxury with excellent back support at an affordable price. Sleep sweetly with the Sealy Summer Sale by visiting your nearest Bedpost store or search for Bedpost online today.
Lipo with a Y is the one to buy.
Seasonal ills and chills are still lurking. Stock up now on liposporic vitamin C. People who know will tell you Lipo with the Y is the one to buy.
Lipo with a Y is the one to buy.
Buy liposporic vitamin C at Unichem and Life Pharmacies and at Chemist Warehouse. Read the label,
purchased. A few years ago, Dad bought me a puppy without getting pet insurance. All was fine until I drew up the puppy and it hurt him. I'll never forget Dad's face when he got that big $8,000 vet bill. Sorry, Dad. Make sure you get affordable pet insurance today. Phone Pet Insure on 0800 367 444.
Phone Pet Insure. 0800 367 444.
More opinions, more debate, more insight on the things that matter, more commentary from the people who give it to you straight. Subscribe now to read more views on today's news with ZB Plus at newstalkzb.co.nz.
Hi, Brendan here from Nap Adjustable Beds. Do you need a better sleep than what your standard flat bed is giving you? One that supports normal breathing, digestion, circulation, and takes pressure off your hips or lower back? We will have an adjustable bed and New Zealand-made mattress specific to your needs. We're New Zealand's highest rated adjustable bed company with genuine personal service and no hard sell. Find us at our Apollo Drive showroom and at NAP, that's napp.co.nz.
Search for regencyplumbing.co.nz.
Throughout the holiday season, Regency Plumbing is open 24/7. If you need urgent repairs, plumbing or gas maintenance, or even a quick hot water cylinder replacement, the team at Regency Plumbing will respond fast and professionally. Remember, the company that's always got your back, 24/7. Regency Plumbing, wishing you all a happy new year.
Search for regencyplumbing.co.nz.
Need new vehicle parts or accessories? Continental Cars offer a wide range of authorised vehicle and motorcycle parts and accessories, plus lifestyle products, perfect for the enthusiast. Visit continentalcars.co.nz. Continental Cars, driving excellence.
News Talk ZB with Tim Roxburgh. We're going to head to the news now and then back into the talkback right after news. 0800 80 1080 if you'd like to be on. Talking Scott Robertson, suggesting he's open to the idea of allowing overseas-based rugby players to still play for the All Blacks. What do you think? And also talking, speaking of overseas, China now has a bigger car manufacturer than Tesla in terms of the EV market. That BYD is now bigger. BYD? Yes, BYD is now bigger than Tesla. Is that true? Apparently so. And also some footage has leaked of their brand new EV ute. And Haval is also a major manufacturer now. So how much do you care where your cars come from? 0800 80 1080. As we head to the news, it was this day in history that Whitney Houston equaled the Beatles and the Bee Gees for most consecutive US #1 hits when So Emotional went to #1. So she started with Saving All My Love for You, then How Will I Know, Greatest Love of All, I Want to Dance with Somebody, Didn't We Almost Have It All, this song, So Emotional, and then her 7th one, which broke the record that she still has for most consecutive US #1s, Where Do Broken Hearts Go? It's News Talk ZB.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are
Join New Zealand's most reliable mobile network from $39.13 a month and be the one your customers can rely on. Search One New Zealand Business Mobile, awarded by Umlaut in 2023. Price excludes GST, fair use and terms apply.
Style up your summer with KFC. Grab a summer bucket and we'll toss in a free bucket hat. Summer never looks so good. Pick yours up today while stocks last at KFC. Sometimes the grass is greener, but with Lawnmaster, the grass is just better. Lawnmaster have been providing hard-working products for hard-working Kiwis for over 77 years. Their range of high-quality and reliable lawnmowers have Kiwi yards covered, and with hedge trimmers, chainsaws, leaf blowers, and more, they've got the gear for any job. Master your garden with Lawnmaster, your 100% New Zealand-owned outdoor power specialist. Go to lawnmaster.co.nz, another Steelthorpe brand.
Is your business getting back into growth mode? Get the recruitment support you need with Join and start making better hires at half the cost.
With zero placement fees, Join is a proven system that can save you thousands. Join's extensive network of specialist recruiters across New Zealand means you can partner with your own dedicated recruiter today. Join the hundreds of smart Kiwi businesses already using Join to recruit great people. Go to join.co.nz.
If your business is a well-oiled machine, you'll have customers with high expectations and low tolerance for stuff-ups. So at Machinery House, we've got everything you need. Cutting machines, woodworking machines, metalworking machines, fabrication machines, machines to keep well-oiled machines like yours moving along nicely. Machinery House, where machines are right at home. East Tamaki and Christchurch or online at machineryhouse.co.nz.
Visit goodhomeproducts.co.nz and watch the online video that's gone viral. It's about a new DIY product called Curtain Wizard. It's designed to make it easy for you to remove mold from your curtains, blinds and drapes. With Curtain Wizard, you don't take your curtains down. You simply spray and the mold will go away. Shop online now for Curtain Wizard and for a limited time get a 2-litre pack for just $59.99 plus delivery. Visit goodhomeproducts.co.nz.
Make your hard-earned savings work for you over the holidays while you take a well-earned break. Exceeder Finance is here to help with premium term deposit rates above what you can expect from the banks. Lock in your rate of 7.5% for a 12-month deposit today and exceed your expectations at exceeder.co.nz. That's xceda.co.nz. Licensed by the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, term deposits are offered pursuant to a product disclosure statement available on our website. T's and C's apply.
Early edition, returning soon for 2024. This is News Talk ZB News.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Raylene Ramsey. Wellington police are appealing for CCTV footage after a vandalism spree yesterday with dozens of car windscreens and wing mirrors smashed. Ethan Manera has more.
The incident is believed to have happened in the early hours of Monday morning throughout the suburbs of Nio, Crofton Downs and Kandala. Anyone with information that may assist inquiries is being asked to contact the Johnsonville Police Station.
Australia's central Victoria remains drenched, but people in Rochester have been told it's too late to leave. Local Tracy has told the ABC the town had only just recovered from the flooding in 2022.
We do know that there are some homes that have gone under. I had reports this morning that one home where a family member moved back in 3 weeks ago has gone under.
Police say the death of a Tauranga woman at a Bethlehem property on Sunday isn't being treated as suspicious. Palestinians are fleeing once again as conditions deteriorate at Gaza's main hospital. Doctors Without Borders and other aid agencies have left, saying Al-Aqsa Hospital is too dangerous. Panicked families are fleeing further south, and the UN says it's now unknown where hundreds of patients are. This young girl in Gaza told the UK's Channel 4 News she narrowly avoided being killed in a recent airstrike.
We were scared, so we ran. We don't want the war. They bombed the car and we're scared.
In the UK, actor Idris Elba has launched a Don't Stop Your Future campaign to combat surging knife crime. Many victims teen boys. The star of The Wire and Luther is demanding a ban on machetes and so-called zombie knives. Kicking off the campaign, piles of folded clothes representing the dead are laid out in London's Parliament Square. A new collaboration has a goal of ending fraud and scams targeting Kiwis' money. NetSafe is combined with New Zealand tech companies Dollar and Akahu and Australia's Cybera to protect people from tech scams. Cyber threats Bay partly cloudy with some isolated showers, mainly inland. Gisborne, Hawke's Bay and Wairarapa, fine today. Few showers about the ranges, but a cloud around tomorrow. From Manukau to Wellington, also Nelson, Buller, Marlborough and Canterbury, mostly fine, but low cloud about coastal Canterbury tomorrow morning. For Westland, cloudy at times. A few showers inland, clearing tonight. There'll be rain in the south tomorrow. Fiordland, mostly cloudy. Patchy light rain will clear tonight. Rain tomorrow with heavy falls from tomorrow night. For Otago and Southland, cloudy at times today. Scattered showers, mainly south of Dunedin. And mostly fine tomorrow, but some late rain about the south coast. And for the Chatham Islands, partly cloudy. There'll be some light showers this evening. That is the latest in weather. It is now 6:07.
As you fire up the barbecue, call 0800 80 1080 for a chat that sizzles. Summer evenings with Tim Roxburgh, News Talk ZB.
Saturday might be even hotter, but anyway, most of the country, nothing but sunshine. By the way, that's Coldplay and a beautiful song called Magic. And there was a story out today saying that Eden Park is celebrating its busiest and most successful year yet, which is great. We've had lots of stadium debate in the last little wee while, and I think that whatever happens, you can see that having too many stadiums is not the answer, and having a stadium wherever it is, but that can be multi-purpose and used throughout the year as opposed to just a handful of events. For so many years, Eden Park was really barely used, and we were aware that it was not particularly financially viable, but part of that was because it was mostly dormant. And so now that Eden Park gets used for things like concerts, well, lo and behold, it actually does make money. So they made, apparently, for every $1 invested, they returned $1.34. It was easily the most successful year financially for Eden Park, I believe, ever. And that's off the back of hosting things like concerts by Ed Sheeran, also the Women's Football World Cup. So they had that opening ceremony plus 9 games, and most of those were sold out or close to it. So that is good news. Coldplay will also be massive at Eden Park. If we can look ahead to the end of the year, which I know we're not really doing right now, but Coldplay will be at Eden Park in November. And we will be there, and it will be my daughter Riley's very first concert. She'll be 5 and a half, so that's a lot younger than I was when I went to my first concert. I remember being 9 and a bit, seeing Cliff Richard at the Logan Campbell Centre. And I've talked about this before, but the Logan Campbell Centre, which is a diabolical venue, it might as well have been Madison Square Gardens. You know, like, it was that exciting. When it's your first concert, the excitement is just huge. And I'd be keen to hear from you. What was your first concert? And how excited were you, and how old were you? You know, as I say, that my daughter will be 5 and almost a half, but not quite. Let's say 5. So she'll be 5 years old, and we're going to take her to Coldplay. And we're going to have to explain to her that this is not one of those things where if you get a little bit bored, you can leave. So I took her to one of the Football World Cup games for the women, and we were there at the opening ceremony, and so that was great. The fireworks and the excitement of it all was fantastic. Did she want to leave a bit early? Yes. And did we leave a bit early? Yes, we did. Will we be leaving early at Coldplay? Under no circumstances. So I'm hoping she will be old enough for that and will be excited enough, and she loves Coldplay, so that's that. And also that she'll be old enough to, this is what I'm hoping, but it's certainly on the young side, old enough to understand that this is a big deal and something to look forward to, and it's not just another fun thing to do like going to the playground. What was your first concert? How old were you, and how big a deal was it? 0800 80 1080. You can text 9292. Now, a couple of other ones that I mentioned before the news. We've got some text messages through on these ones, so I'm happy to take some calls. Am I happy to take calls? Yes, I am. I'd love to take some calls. It's talkback, so ring me, 0800 80 1080. Scott Robertson, new All Blacks coach. has hinted in an interview that he's open to the idea of allowing overseas-based players to play for the All Blacks. So we remember that he's only been in the job for a few weeks or a couple of months at least, and I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's exactly what the All Blacks need. Do we think it's the right idea? Given that, what have we got here? 11 members of the All Blacks World Cup squad have since headed overseas. We've got loose forward Sam Cane and Ardie Sevilla, utility backbone and Barrett are set to return from Japan and be available for international duty come the middle of the year. 5 of the other 8, reading here from the Herald article, are said to be more in the twilight of their careers, so they will not be playing for the All Blacks again. That's Dane Coles, Nebo Lolala, Roddy Retallick, Sam Whitelock, Aaron Smith. But what do you think if we changed that policy so overseas-based players could still play for the All Blacks, 0800 80 1080? And I mentioned a car one too. So China now makes cars and has done for long enough that they are doing extremely well around the world. BYD is one of those brands, and another one is Haval. And so BYD has recently overtaken Tesla as the global leader in sales of EVs. So they're extremely successful. I'm seeing Havals on the road quite a bit, and I guess the thing is, it's not a prejudice against China. It's more, I think, that being safe with the brand or feeling safe with the brand, doesn't that take a long time? If you're going to hand over a huge sum of money for a car, that you have to feel that, okay, one, this is not going to cost me a fortune to maintain, but that you have to feel safe with that brand. So how much do you care about the country that your car comes from? 0800 80 1080. All right, bit to talk about. Let's get to it. Ben, how are you doing? That's right, Ben, you're on the wireless. Can you believe it? No, we can't. Where's Ben gone? It's so upsetting to have had Ben, but to not really have had him. So let's see whether Ben comes back to us, and in the meantime, let's do some text messages. Anthony says, with regards to overseas players, no way. All the good players here will chase bigger money overseas. Our competition will be totally ruined. Nobody will go to the games. And you may be right. I may be crazy. But do I carry on with Billy Joel lyrics, or do I just make the point? What I said before the news was that I totally understand that argument. And again, you may be right, I may be crazy, and it sure may be a lunatic you're looking for, but that may have been a stronger argument when people used to go to Super Rugby games and NPC games. Does that argument still work now that those competitions are struggling to get people to go to them? And you might actually argue, and perhaps successfully argue, that no, the argument is even more valid. But happy to take some calls on that one on 0800 80 1080. I think we've got Ben back. How are you doing, Ben?
Hello, sorry, I stepped outside, my Wi-Fi dropped off, so all right, yeah, a couple of issues here. Electric cars, I can afford to buy an electric car, but I won't because the infrastructure is not there in New Zealand to be able to, me in Auckland, drive down to Wellington to see my mum and dad. live. It was just so amazing. And the crowd, in one of the songs, we took over their voices where they stopped. And they said, we're going to start again. And they just played the music and let the crowd sing the song to them.
So, I love that. Weirdly, I love that you never went to a concert until your 30s, because I think that's so unusual. So you make for a great case study of how it was that you'd never gone to a concert until you were in your mid-30s, but also what it was like for you having that experience, which most people have had at a much, much younger age, that I guess there would be a level of excitement for you that you had, which would have been probably quite childlike. Can you kind of take us back? Again, where was the venue for this particular show?
So it was at Mount Smart Station.
Oh, Mount Smart. Oh, well, I was at that concert too. Right.
Yeah, it was a great concert, and I think the reason why I didn't see all those concerts from my 20s to when I turned 30, I was in the military service, so I was serving overseas and doing all that. Like, people come back and talk about all these TV shows and stuff. I'm like, what's that? I was overseas and active duty doing things, so I missed all that stuff. So when I came back in my 30s and retired from the military, I got to I guess I got to explore all those things that I didn't get to do during that age gap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a little bit like having children. There's a chunk of your life when you're raising children where you are not really partaking in anything like the amount of pop culture that you would have partaken in before. But that's really cool. As far as how it blew you away, did it change you and make you go, oh my gosh, I need to go see more shows?
Oh, definitely. And just last year, at the beginning of last year, or maybe it was 2022, in the middle of 22, we went to Red Hot Chili Peppers that I grew up in when I was 18, and they were at the arena down in Auckland.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Good, to be honest. It sounded pretty crap. And I was standing there the whole time, I'm like, oh my god, I see the guys from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was just turning 18 again, like, oh my god, that guy, we're the same age, but still, like, this is great.
Well, that was a good one to see when it comes to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because they did, I thought they did two good shows. I reviewed one of them, so I don't know what the other one was like, but I saw the set list and it was good. And yeah, I reviewed it for the Herald when they came a few years ago and played at Spark Arena. And by the way, Anthony Kiedis is 61 now. Like, that's something. And but they were here recently and did Mount Smart, and they did just a diabolical set list. You know, they are a great band. They're a truly great band, and they're a band who evolved, survived, been going for 40 years. But 40 years into your career, and you turn up and you do pretty much nothing but songs from 2 back-to-back new albums that no one knows. I think, the very definition of self-indulgent. Ben, great to have you on the program. I do have to take a break, but I love that you somehow made it to your 30s without going to a concert, as much as I think going to concerts is such an amazing thing to do. As I say, you're a fascinating case study. 0800 80 1080 mentioned that Eden Park has had its most successful year yet as of 2023. So, with that in mind, and that Coldplay, as well as various other acts like Pink, are coming to play Eden Park this year, I'll be taking my daughter to see Coldplay. My wife and I are going with little Riley. He'll be 5 and a bit. And we know that that's pretty young for a big stadium show, but we're taking a chance. And we hope that she'll love all of it, and there'll be no, I want to go home now. And it's Coldplay. It's not like it's Juicy Festival or anything, so it should be a lovely, safe environment. 0800 80 1080, what was your first concert? How old were you? We'll carry on with that, plus car chat. Here on News Talk ZB, how much you care about the country that your car comes from. We'll be back right after this, 6:24 on News Talk ZB.
Need something to binge this summer? I recommend my new fictional crime mystery podcast, Tom Sainsbury's Small Town Scandal. I wouldn't I? Summer never sounded so mysterious.
One electric car now leads the way. Meet the all-new MG4 Electric, winner of over 30 international awards, and now AA Driven's overall car of the year 2023 right here in New Zealand. This fully electric, eye-catching family hatchback with 5-star
5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty, including battery cover, is now available from $46,990 plus on-road costs. The all-new MG4 Electric. Ignite your spark and book a test drive today.
Hey, so I think we'll just check in again with Mac. He just used the multi-award-winning advice tool on pinnaclelife.co.nz. Did you get a life insurance quote, Mac?
Nah, I went for advice first. I clicked to put in a few more details about myself, so I know the cover I get is going to suit me exactly. Well, it was super easy.
That app won multiple awards, did you know?
Well, it's made life insurance easy for once.
Nice. pinnaclelife.co.nz.
Trade Depot's bulk buying power means everyone in Auckland can save thousands on renovations. Black stainless steel fridge freezers just $399. Powerful cordless stick vacs just $285. My dear chest freezers only $255. Shop online now at Trade Depot. With minimum spends, you can get free home delivery anywhere in Auckland. T's and C's apply.
You
know the saying, Adrian?
What saying, John?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And if it is broke,
See you make this Ben Road. Whatever might have broke over the holidays.
we've got a newer, better one to replace it.
Washers and dryers.
Fridges and freezers.
TVs and home theatres.
Toasters and kettles.
Small appliances.
And big appliances.
All at prices that won't leave you broke.
We deliver fast.
We're open through the break.
100% Makeless Ben Road.
News Talk ZB, Tim Roxburgh here. That's me, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's do a couple of text messages. Just wrapping up the chat about overseas players potentially playing for the All Blacks in the future. Anthony says, no way, as all the players will chase that bigger money overseas. Thanks for texting in on that one. My first concert was the Synchronicity concert in 1984 at Western Springs, and I was 15 for someone who saw the Police as their first gig. That's not bad. This person's very first concert was Fleetwood Mac in 1980 at Athletic Park, that infamous concert. I was 8 and had missed out on going to the Rod Stewart concert of the same year. Solidified my love of Fleetwood Mac, and I've seen them 3 times since. Talking first concerts, Phil, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. What was your first?
It was my sect.
Oh yes, whereabouts?
In Tauranga. I was 17. And
what can you remember?
They were brilliant. Oh, they were brilliant, but what really made my day was the band before, which was a band I'd never heard of, 2 Days Farm.
All right.
And then so they were so good that a week later they were playing in the Cowra pub, so we went and watched them there. They were amazing. But it was just the whole atmosphere was just brilliant.
And was it what you thought it would be? Can you remember how excited you were in the build-up and then how it felt once you were there?
Oh, I was excited. My girlfriend wasn't, but she came anyway.
Yeah.
But she didn't like it at all. But yeah, it just put me in debt for going to these small concerts, and you know, so it's probably the best concert I ever went to. I lived in America for 15 years. I was in Boston, and I saw the Eagle on stage.
Oh, great. What sort of year was that?
We're talking 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Right. So reformed post Hell Freezes Over Eagles.
Yeah, my favourite song from that was Hole in the World Tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love that song.
Do you know the only thing I felt with that song, because I also love it, but I always wanted it to just go somewhere else a little bit more in terms of the production, because it's got lovely harmonies and it's a lovely message. And was it a coincidence that it fit with September 11, or did they write it after September 11? I can't remember.
No, they wrote it after.
Yeah, and I just kind of, maybe I'm hoping for like a gospel choir and a key change or something. That's the only thing I'm wanting in that song that's not there.
When they played it live, it just blew you away because of the way they did it.
Yeah.
In the Crucible in Boston, it's oval stage in the middle, and it's rotating.
Oh, cool.
And they had 4 Airstream caravans on stage.
Yeah.
And a bonfire in the middle, and the first guy comes out and starts playing. Then the next guy comes out, and then they all come out, and they're sitting around a campfire singing the song acoustically. It was amazing.
Oh, that sounds really special. Yeah. And because really, when it came to replicating what they could do on record, were ever as good as Don Henley and Glenn Fry and Joe Walsh and Timothy B. Schmidt.
They were amazing. Another one I thought, and the other one I saw Queen live here.
Yeah.
And I also went to Wellington 2 days later and saw them down there. They were amazing.
Did you see, speaking of infamous concerts, did you see Queen at Mount Smart in the mid-80s?
Yeah.
Because that do you know the story with that concert, that is the most drunk Freddie Mercury ever was on stage, according to him and according to the rest of the band?
Yeah, he wasn't exactly sober.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that I thought was the most disappointing, and I loved them, was Fleetwood Mac's Rumour concert. And she was just so stoned. She kept on walking away from the mic, and...
As in Stevie Nicks?
Yeah. And they had to come back and drag her back to the mic, and that was the most disappointing concert I've ever been to, probably.
Do you know, I think one of the elephant in the room with Fleetwood Mac a tiny bit, because they're one of the greatest, most beloved bands ever, that you sometimes want to overlook some of the roughest stuff in terms of the live performances. People love the soap opera of Fleetwood Mac, and the stuff on record is fantastic. But, you know, them as a live group, I love seeing them live, but do I necessarily love, you know, live concert footage of Fleetwood Mac? To be honest, some of the later stuff is actually a lot better than the stuff in their heyday. I'm sure seeing them at Athletic Park or Western Springs, I mean, it's also legendary that it's okay if the harmonies were a bit ragged. But, you know, you listen to their live album from that they put out in I think, 1980. It's not brilliant. This is one of my favorite bands ever. They're a truly brilliant band, but, you know, at their peak, those concerts could often be a little bit raggedy. And I would say, you know, more often than not, as far as what's documented at their peak. But man, one of the greatest bands ever, no doubt about it. Thanks for the call. 0800 80 1080. Talking your very first concert. Tobias. Oh, we've lost Tobias or Tobias? Tobias or Tobias? Where is the emphasis? I believe the emphasis is on the bias. Tobias, give us a call back. Tobias wanted to talk about how much you care about the country your car is from. With news that BYD is now bigger than Tesla. So this is a Chinese maker, and that Haval, I see these all the time. And if you drive any of those cars, what do they like to drive, and what do they like as far as maintenance, the cost to run them? It'd be great to hear from you. Tobias, you can give us a bell back. We're also talking your very first concert, as my daughter will be going to her first concert later this year to see Coldplay at Eden Park. News Talk ZB, 28 minutes to 7.
Summer sausages sauce and everyday low prices at New World. Pam's classic beef or pork sausages 6-pack, $8.99 each. And Pam's upside down tomato sauce, $2.89 each. Now that's New World value. Sizes, limits, exclusions apply.
Going electric? Continental Cars has a wide range of electric and hybrid vehicles and the answers to all your questions with fully trained technicians to keep your wheels safely turning. View the range at continentalcars.co.nz. Continental Cars, driving excellence.
Free solar panels. How could you say no to that? Light Force Solar's supersized sale is on now. Claim up to 4 free solar panels with your install. Plus get 33% more battery for free. T's and C's apply. Light Force Solar, the New Zealand-owned nationwide full-service solar company with a 10-year workmanship guarantee, plus a 25-year solar panel product guarantee. Get a free quote now at lightforsolar.co.nz. Solar you can be sure of.
Trade Depot's bulk buying power means everyone in Auckland can save thousands on renovations. Black stainless steel fridge freezers just $3.99. Powerful cordless stick vacs just $2.85. My dear chest freezers only $255. Shop online now at Trade Depot. With minimum spends, you can get free home delivery anywhere.